Ancient texts introduce Enoch, a significant figure in biblical narratives. His story presents a unique anomaly within these religious accounts. Enoch is described as not experiencing death in the conventional sense. This sets him apart from other biblical figures who faced mortality. His narrative suggests a divine intervention, bypassing the typical human fate. This unique aspect makes Enoch's story a subject of theological study. The biblical book of Genesis contains a brief but profound statement about Enoch. It states that Enoch walked with God, indicating a close relationship. The text then adds, "and he was no more," suggesting a sudden disappearance. The reason given for his disappearance is because God took him. This concise account has sparked significant historical and theological inquiry. Scholars and theologians have long debated the meaning and implications of Enoch's fate. The biblical passage concerning Enoch is notably concise. It is embedded within extensive genealogical records. This placement makes its content unusual. It stands out amidst chronological records. The Genesis text provides specific details about the life of Enoch. It explicitly states that Enoch lived for a period of 365 years. Throughout this extensive lifespan, Enoch maintained a profound connection with the divine. This deep spiritual relationship is a key aspect of his biblical narrative. The phrase, "God took him" from Genesis, describes Enoch's departure. This biblical statement has initiated centuries of theological discussion. Interpretations vary regarding Enoch's ultimate fate. Scholars and theologians have debated the nature of his departure. Some believe it signifies a physical translation to another realm. Others interpret it metaphorically, representing a spiritual elevation or peaceful death. The biblical book of Genesis briefly mentions Enoch, hinting at a unique story. Ancient traditions preserve texts outside the canonical Bible, expanding on Enoch's narrative. These non-canonical texts suggest a far more elaborate and detailed account of Enoch's life. This indicates a broader understanding of Enoch's significance in early religious thought. Biblical references to Enoch are notably concise, presenting a brief account of his life. These brief mentions have led some scholars to propose alternative interpretations. A prevailing theory suggests the biblical text may contain only fragments of a larger narrative. This implies that the original account of Enoch's story was far more extensive and detailed. Such scholarly views highlight the potential for deeper, unrecorded historical or theological contexts. The Book of Enoch is an ancient religious work, traditionally attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. It provides a more extensive and detailed account of Enoch's experiences than other biblical texts. This text delves into various topics, including the origins of demons and giants, and the reasons for the flood. It also explores eschatology, angelic hierarchies, and the nature of the Messiah. Despite its historical significance, the Book of Enoch is considered controversial and apocryphal by many traditions. The Book of Enoch is an ancient religious work attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. It details a series of profound visions and divine revelations experienced by Enoch. These visions encompass various celestial phenomena, including the movements of stars and planets. The text also describes divine revelations concerning angels, cosmology, and eschatology. The Book of Enoch offers unique insights into ancient Jewish apocalyptic literature and beliefs. The Book of Enoch describes Enoch's extraordinary celestial journeys. Enoch undertakes extensive travels through various heavenly realms. These journeys involve traversing diverse cosmic structures. His travels reveal intricate details of the heavens. The narrative details his encounters and observations in these realms. Enoch's celestial voyage are a central theme of the ancient text. The text describes Enoch's unique experiences with mysterious beings. These entities are consistently referred to as the Watchers throughout the narrative. The nature of these Watchers is a central element of the story. Their purpose within the narrative is also a key focus. Enoch's encounters with these Watchers are pivotal to the text's core message. The Book of Enoch captivated readers across the ancient world for many centuries. This ancient text held significant fascination among various communities. Its content profoundly influenced numerous religious traditions. The book also played a role in shaping diverse mystical traditions. The Book of Enoch, despite its historical popularity, was eventually excluded from most biblical canons. This exclusion prompted significant inquiry into the reasons behind its removal from canonical texts. Its widespread acceptance in early Jewish and Christian communities is well documented. The book contains apocalyptic visions and detailed narratives about fallen angels and cosmology. Reasons for its exclusion often cite theological discrepancies and its non-apostolic authorship. The process of canonization involved rigorous evaluation by religious authorities over centuries. A significant question arises regarding the exclusion of certain texts from official biblical scripture. These texts were once widely read and held considerable influence within early Jewish communities. The process of canonization determined which writings would be considered divinely inspired. Various factors, including theological disputes and historical context, influenced these decisions. Understanding this process helps explain why some influential texts were ultimately removed from the canon. The Council of Laodicea was a significant event in early Christian history. It was convened in the 4th century, a period of crucial theological development. Early church leaders gathered to address various ecclesiastical matters. A primary focus was the debate and formalization of the biblical canon. Historians consider this council pivotal for establishing scriptural authority. Its decisions influenced the accepted collection of books in the Christian Bible. During a significant council, numerous ancient writings were subjected to rigorous scrutiny. The primary objective was to evaluate their authenticity and doctrinal consistency. Each text underwent careful examination by scholars and religious authorities. The purpose was to determine their suitability for inclusion as official scripture. This process established the canonical texts for religious doctrine and practice. The formation of ancient canons involved the selection of certain texts for inclusion. Some ancient texts were accepted and integrated into these finalized collections. However, other texts, such as the Book of Enoch, were ultimately excluded from the canon. This exclusion process shaped the body of accepted religious or literary works. The Book of Enoch presents descriptions of angels and cosmic events. Historically, these descriptions were considered enigmatic. They pose challenges for reconciliation with developing official doctrine. This perspective suggests reasons for its exclusion from canonical texts. An alternative theory concerns the Book of Enoch and its exclusion from canonical texts. This theory suggests the book contained narratives or raised questions. These elements were deemed unsuitable for widespread dissemination among believers. Religious authorities may have preferred to limit its influence or content. The Book of Enoch presents a unique narrative within ancient literature. It describes the extraordinary event of celestial beings descending to earth. This descent is a central and unusual element of its ancient text. The narrative details interactions between these beings and humanity. The Book of Enoch describes celestial beings known as the Watchers. These entities are depicted as having descended to earth. Their arrival predates the time of Noah, as stated in the text. The Watchers are a significant element in Enochian literature. Ancient writers provide descriptions of beings known as the Watchers. These accounts consistently portray the Watchers as powerful entities. They are also characterized by their radiant appearance. Furthermore, the Watchers are described as imposing figures. These attributes collectively signify their extraordinary and unique nature. Ancient texts describe the arrival of entities known as the Watchers. Their descent to Earth is documented as occurring in the region of Mount Hermon. Mount Hermon is a mountainous area, characterized by its towering peaks. The region is also known for its frequent and extensive cloud cover. Upon their arrival, the Watchers established a significant presence. They subsequently formed a collective pact among themselves. This agreement was a formal and binding commitment. Ancient texts describe the profound impact of this pact. It is believed to have fundamentally altered the course of human destiny. The pact's details remain a subject of historical and mythical inquiry. Ancient traditions recount the existence of beings known as Watchers. These Watchers are said to have interacted with early humanity. They allegedly imparted knowledge to humans. This knowledge was considered forbidden, not intended for human comprehension. Such transmissions of information challenged the natural order of understanding. Forbidden knowledge encompassed a range of advanced and secretive information. This included sophisticated techniques related to metalworking and metallurgy. It also involved the specialized creation and development of weapons. Advanced astronomical understanding was another key component of this knowledge. Furthermore, it involved the manipulation of hidden natural forces and energies. Early civilizations often exhibited sudden advancements in technology and science. These rapid developments appear unexpectedly in historical records. The origin of these advanced knowledge systems is a subject of historical inquiry. One theory attributes these advancements to the teachings of the Watchers. The Watchers are depicted as entities who imparted knowledge to humanity. This connection suggests an external source for early technological and scientific progress. The question arises regarding the motives of heavenly beings. Specifically, why would they choose to reveal certain knowledge? This knowledge is often considered potentially disruptive to humankind. The rationale behind such divine disclosure remains a subject of inquiry. The Book of Enoch provides interpretations regarding the Watchers, a group of angelic beings. These interpretations suggest that the Watchers' initial intentions were not entirely benevolent. Their actions are depicted as having underlying ulterior motives. This implies a deviation from their divine purpose or original mandate. The text highlights a complex narrative of their involvement with humanity. Ancient accounts describe a group known as the Watchers, celestial beings with specific duties. These texts claim the Watchers descended to Earth, interacting directly with humanity. A key aspect of these interactions involved relationships between Watchers and human women. These unions are depicted as having profound and far-reaching consequences for humanity. The narratives detail the significant impact of these interactions on early human civilization. Ancient texts describe specific unions as the genesis of remarkable beings. These unions, detailed by ancient writers, led to extraordinary offspring. The progeny of these unions were known as the Nephilim. The Nephilim were characterized as giant beings of unusual stature. They were often depicted as strange and terrifying figures in ancient accounts. The Nephilim are depicted as colossal beings from ancient lore. These entities are often described as giants who roamed the ancient world. Their immense size and power instilled fear in human communities. Ancient texts portray them as figures of myth and legend. The Nephilim remain a subject of intrigue in historical and religious studies. Ancient texts describe the Nephilim as beings of immense stature. These descriptions consistently portray them as towering figures. Their massive silhouettes were said to dominate the landscape. They moved across the horizon, casting colossal shadows. Their presence was likened to living mountains, emphasizing their scale. The Nephilim are figures described in ancient texts, often associated with giants or powerful beings. Their descriptions have long been a subject of scholarly and theological debate. A central question revolves around how these ancient accounts should be understood. One perspective suggests a literal interpretation of the Nephilim as physical entities. Conversely, another viewpoint posits that these descriptions are symbolic representations. This ongoing debate highlights the complexity of interpreting ancient, religious, and mythological texts. The narrative details the widespread chaos that followed a significant event. This chaos was directly triggered by the emergence of powerful entities known as the Nephilim. Their appearance disrupted established order and societal structures. The ensuing disorder impacted various aspects of life, creating a state of upheaval. Ancient traditions describe the Nephilim as beings of significant power and influence. These traditions indicate a progressive increase in their violent and destructive behaviors. Their actions are said to have contributed to a global descent into corruption. This ultimately led to a world characterized by widespread conflict and moral decay. Humanity experienced a period of significant struggle and pervasive moral decay. This decline was directly influenced by the presence and actions of powerful external beings. The influence of these entities created an atmosphere of profound moral degradation. This pervasive atmosphere led to widespread strife and conflict among humans. Human society grappled with the consequences of this external manipulation. The period was marked by a general breakdown of ethical standards and societal harmony. Enoch re-enters the narrative at a critical juncture. His return signifies a pivotal moment within the ongoing story. He is specifically chosen for a significant divine purpose. Enoch is designated to serve as a messenger from a higher power. Enoch, a human figure, was entrusted with a significant and challenging divine mission. His primary task involved confronting the Watchers, celestial beings who had fallen from grace. These Watchers had deviated from their divine duties, leading to their fallen status. Enoch was charged with delivering a specific divine message to these fallen entities. This mission highlights Enoch's unique role and the gravity of his assigned responsibilities. Enoch embarked on a journey that transcended earthly bounds. His path led him beyond the terrestrial realm. This extraordinary voyage took him into the heavens themselves. Enoch's journey represents a profound celestial ascent. The Book of Enoch describes a unique cosmology, detailing celestial landscapes and structures. It presents a vision of the heavens, distinct from conventional biblical accounts. Within this celestial realm, Enoch witnesses vast chambers existing within the sky itself. These chambers are depicted as integral parts of the cosmic architecture. The text also reveals the presence of cosmic gates, serving as pathways for stars. Through these gates, stars traverse the universe, following predetermined celestial paths. Enoch's journey describes encounters with profound celestial revelations. Among these were visions of specialized celestial prisons. These prisons are depicted as confinement sites for rebellious, angelic beings. The angelic entities are held there, awaiting a predetermined judgment. This narrative element highlights a structured divine justice system. Religious visions are often subject to diverse interpretations. One perspective views these visions as symbolic religious imagery. This interpretation suggests the imagery conveys spiritual truths. The focus shifts from literal cosmic geography to deeper spiritual meaning. Such interpretations emphasize the metaphorical nature of the visions. They serve to communicate profound spiritual concepts rather than physical realities. Ancient visions are often interpreted as attempts to understand cosmic realities. These realities frequently exceeded the comprehension of early human societies. Such perspectives suggest a profound engagement with the universe's mysteries. They represent early efforts to articulate complex celestial phenomena. These interpretations offer insight into ancient cosmological thought and perception. Enoch embarked on a celestial journey, transcending earthly realms. During this journey, he was granted profound visions and divine insights. These revelations unveiled the fundamental structure of the cosmos. Enoch gained an understanding of the universe's intricate organization. He witnessed the underlying principles governing cosmic order. Enochian texts describe cosmic portals as gateways within the celestial structure. These portals facilitate the movement and trajectories of celestial bodies across the cosmos. Additionally, Enoch details vast, designated regions within the cosmos. These regions serve as holding places for fallen stars, described as being held captive. Celestial beings are observed, overseeing the intricate motions of the heavens. These entities are responsible for governing the celestial sphere. Their primary role is to maintain cosmic order and universal balance. They ensure the harmonious functioning of all heavenly bodies and phenomena. Enoch's role transcended mere observation, encompassing a vital mission. He was entrusted with a significant message for humanity. This message constituted a solemn warning regarding an impending catastrophe. Enoch's duty was to deliver this critical prophecy to humankind. Ancient traditions attribute a significant prophecy to Enoch. This prophecy was reportedly conveyed to his son, Methuselah. The core of the prophecy foretold a great judgment. This judgment was intended to cleanse the world. The reason for this cleansing was the pervasive corruption of the era. Thus, Enoch's prophecy warned of divine intervention against global wickedness. Enoch's prophecies are often interpreted as significant warnings within biblical tradition. These warnings are frequently linked to a major catastrophic event described in Scripture. Many readers specifically connect Enoch's admonitions to the Great Flood narrative. This interpretation suggests a direct correlation between Enoch's foresight and the deluge. The Great Flood, as detailed in the account of Noah, serves as the referenced event.